Today was quite a surprising reveal day because they showcased a lot of cards and new units which we didn't expect.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Hey Cardfighters, welcome back to another Cardfight update, and today we've got yet again a very jam-packed information video because there were a lot of interesting new stuff revealed from all bits and nooks and areas of Cardfight Vanguard. However, in this case it's gonna be a lot shorter than last week's because there aren't a ton of new cards with card effects revealed, but a lot of interesting information concerning reveals, certain set information, and something about a unique high rarity pack and unique high rarity cards. With that explained, let's jump right into the first card reveals, as we've got the new VR as well as a supporting card for the upcoming Dimension Police support in the Silver Dust Blaze set. As today they revealed Grandgallop for Dimension Police. So let's dive straight into those cards and everything that comes behind it. So first off, let's take a look at the new Grade 2 supporting card, which is an old favorite, Cosmic Hero Grand Revolver. The Grade 2 resist card that was quite a pivotal card in the old OG era of Grandgallop. And this time it's once again a very good staple card for the Grandgallop build, as its skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed, costs counter +1 and soul +1, and this unit gets power plus 10k until the end of turn. If Great Cosmic Hero Grandgallop is on your Vanguard circle, draw a card, and one of your Vanguards get critical +1 until the end of turn. So this is basically a very simple card. You counter +1, soul +1, and you gain a lot of effects or a lot of value. As you get plus 10k power on a unit, you give potentially a unit a critical, and you draw a card. In the early game, this isn't a great of a card because you don't want to counter + soul just for a 10k power increase. This wasn't good at the beginning of the reboot, and it's most definitely not good right now, almost 2 years in the reboot. So yeah, that's not the good part about the skill. The good part about is that if you sit on Grandgallop as your Vanguard, you get a draw, which then makes the skill actually pretty okay. A Soul Blast for the 10k, you could say, and a counterless for a draw, which is fine. And then the critical to the Vanguard is basically the creme de la creme on top here, but this also will synergize with the new Grandgallop VR, because if we take a look at Grandgallop, then we can see how this will interact and makes it a good support cast card for that new deck. So when we take a look at Great Cosmic Hero Grandgallop, we see the following card with his two very interesting skills. His first skill is Unknown Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, activate all of the effects below according to this unit's critical. 2 or more, all your front row rear guards gets power plus 5k until the end of turn. 3 or more, all of your front row rear guards get power plus 10k until the end of turn. And 4 or more, all of your front row rear guards get critical +1 until the end of turn. So if you have 4 criticals, your front row rear guards get an additional 15k power and an extra crit, which makes them pretty deadly and devastating if you can successfully get this thing off. But it also has a second skill, which makes the first skill a bit more easier to pull off, as its second skill is Act on Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, cost counter +1, and this unit gets critical +1 until the end of turn. So basically this allows it to always achieve the first condition. You always have 2 or more criticals for the cost of a counterblast, which gives 2 from the rearguards an additional 5k power, which is a nice free addition. However, we have a couple of ways that this can be interacting with the support cast to make this card a lot more viable and a bit better. So first off, Grandgallop will always have a normal crit, so we're at 1. Then with its own skill, he can turn it into 2 criticals, which allows you to give 5k power. Then with Grand Revolver, you can turn it into 3 criticals, which allows you to give your units plus 15k power. But then we also have the Grade 1 that was revealed a couple of weeks ago, that is, I believe, Dimensional Robo Hijacker, which can retire itself to give the Vanguard a critical, so that becomes 4 critical. But another way you can do this is by going for Force 2, which allows you to give another critical. So you have 5 options right now to give the Vanguard a critical, and maybe there are going to be a lot more because we don't have all the cards revealed yet. I think we're going to see at least 1 or 2 more cards that can allow you to give the Vanguard more criticals, so you can achieve this effect a bit easier. An important thing to note here, however, is that this skill does not interact with critical triggers themselves, as the skill timing is when it attacks, not during the attack. So you cannot stack critical triggers from the Vanguard attack onto this unit to allow it to get more effects. So something like the Dimensional Robot Dice doesn't really work here. But what is interesting, however, with this particular skill is that it does synergize with certain other units that we already have in Dimension Police, as you can, for example, interact this with, of course, the old VR Ultimate Great Dayusha, as you can use the skill, give your frontal units a couple of bits of power buffs, maybe the criticals as well, then you write into Dayusha if you can use that superior right skill and give those units even more additional power. And they potentially have the crits if you could stack it up all the way to 4 crits, and if you went for Force 2, then with Ultimate Great Dayusha you can even distribute more crits to the rearguards, which allows you to come with a lot of pressure. Also, this can be interacted or make a combo with the latest Triple R Grade 3, which allows you to superior right. From the Grade 3, you ride into Grandgallop, and then you attack with Grandgallop and potentially give your rearguards even more power, so your multi-attacking comes with a bit more oomph than just 2 Vanguard swings that are really, really high. So that's an interesting road you can take. But the interesting thing here is, because this thing also gives the rearguards criticals, you could potentially set up a very deadly early game scenario where your opponent is forced to guard all your attacks that will swing in for high numbers. There are a lot of interesting things here that could potentially work, but I am no DP expert, and it depends on how good these cards interact. Grandgallop on its own looks to be very gimmicky and a bit underwhelming because it's very, very dependent on the support. And so far, we haven't really seen a lot of units that allows the Vanguard to gain additional crits. We have the Hijacker, but it's a bit awkward because it needs to boost an attack, then retire itself, and then it gives the Vanguard the crit. But it's a bit too late for Grandgallop because actually, with Grandgallop, you want it to be the first attack so you can give both your side columns the extra power and crit. If you use the Hijacker or the Jack or whatever that thing is called, the Grade 1, then you already attack with the column. And that thing cannot boost your Vanguard because it's at the end of the battle that you can sack it off. So that doesn't really work. We only have the Grade 2 Grand Revolver, and that's about it. So I'm very curious if we're going to see more of this critical support for Grandgallop to make it an actual viable strategy than just maybe a fun alternative, as I hope to see that this build can actually stand on its own 2 feet, as it looks to be very interesting and a high pressure caliber deck. We've got a lot more information revealed, but these aren't card skill reveals, these are just generic product reveals. And these aren't minor reveals as well, because there's one thing that I notice when we start getting the SP clan packs for the G-era counterpart. We start getting them from Try Free and onwards for every single clan. However, there is 1 or 2 particular clans that will fall out of these categories. That is Narukami and the Shadow Paladin. Because Narukami and Shadow Paladin already got both their G boss unit or the G unit, as that is Clarets or Dragon, and Vanquisher already released before this trend started. So when that happened and we start seeing all these new cards like Harry, Night Rose, Shaharat, and all those other boss units, there was something in the back of my mind like, what's going to happen for Narukami and Shadow Paladin? Narukami doesn't have another boss unit besides Vanquisher. Yes, they have a different version of Vanquisher, but are they actually going to introduce those as well? Because if Vanquisher is going to get it, then why not the rest of the clans? Because every other unit also got at least one other version of their main Grade 3. But in Shadow Paladin's case, they have a backup. They have a backup unit. That is, of course, Luard. But another thing is that a lot of Shadow Paladin players were anticipating and waiting for was, of course, their original cross-ride boss unit, which is Phantom Blaster Overlord. And Shadow Paladin players don't have to decide or fight among each other for which card needs to be released in the next Shadow Paladin support, because they, Bushiroad, revealed the next VRs for the upcoming Set 10 set that comes after Harry and Night Rose, and they showcased this image. Yes, we are going to get Luard and Phantom Blaster Overlord as 2 separate VRs for the upcoming set that will contain 4 clans. However, there is one interesting thing when we look at this image, because we can see the 4 names of the clans, and it reads Shadow Paladin, Tachikaze, Spike Brothers, and Mega Colony. So we actually get the extra booster clans that are Tachikaze, Spike Brothers, and Mega Colony together with Shadow Paladin in one main set. So these are looking to be very interesting. And for those other 3 clans, if you're wondering which units they are, they also revealed which units they're gonna have as the VR or the box toppers on that set. As we're gonna get back Gaia, Rising Nova, but not the original Dark Phase, but Dark Phase Ghidorah. So for anybody that was anticipating these units, eat your heart out, because Tachikaze, Spike Brothers, Mega Colony, and Shadow Paladin is coming in you fast with some new spicy VRs. But on top of all that, they even revealed that Shadow Paladin is gonna get a special artwork of their Phantom Blaster Overlord VR in the likes of an Anasa Secret Rare. And it basically is the OG artwork of the original Phantom Blaster Overlord. And I think I'm more fan of the original artwork, but the new artwork is also pretty slick. So yeah, it's gonna be a very expensive set for Shadow Paladin players, because this set will probably mean that Shadow Paladin will have 2 different SP packs, just like we've seen with Kagura's. But before we go into the next information, there's one more thing that I want to address. One more interesting tidbit that we can see on the box information. As we go back to the first screen with the set review or the set information, we can see the amounts of commons, rares, and whatever, all those stuff. But we see a similar line that they showcased on the Night Rose and Harry box. And I can show you the image right here. Here's the Phantom Blaster set, and here's the Harry set. And as you can see, both of them have the same text. They both state a marker card, +1 marker card. So that means this set will also contain a special archetype that will work with a marker mechanic like we've seen with 7 Seas. Which clan that is, we don't know. For as far as I know, there is no confirmation that any of these clans will work with it. There is some speculation out there on Twitter. Can you say G said about something maybe with Luard, that it works with Luard, as Luard is the second archetype for Shadow Paladin, and probably Phantom Blaster Overlord will be the main thing, as we already have a very established Blaster engine in Standard. So that could be a thing. But so far, it's all speculation. At least one clan and probably an archetype in that clan will work with a new marker mechanic, which is always really interesting, as it means there are newer and different ways to play Vanguard, just like we've seen with 7 Seas. So we probably have to wait for a couple of weeks before we get more information about that special marker, or they can just reveal it next week. It's Bushiroad, we have no clue how they're gonna do this. Now for the final information, or the final news that we got today, we go into the Bang Dream set. When they revealed the Bang Dream set, they announced which bands were introduced in that particular set. We already know those. And there was one band, or at least the moment that I started learning about Bang Dream, there was one band in particular, which I was a bit disappointed about that it wasn't in the set, because music-wise, Rise's Sullen is arguably one of my favorite bands out of that. Their music is pretty damn solid, and if you aren't familiar with their song, you probably are because you're watching the Vanguard anime, but for anybody that isn't familiar, this is one of their amazing songs. And if you don't know that, we also got this one. And who can of course forget about this one? Or this one? And of course the last main banger that everybody should know, this one. So yeah, probably very obvious that this is a pretty good band. So I was quite disappointed that we couldn't see these in the new Bang Dream set so we can play with that archetype. However, for some reason, Bushiroad decided to make me and other Rise and Sun fans probably very happy, but at the same time also very annoyed, because Rise and Sun will be featured in the Bang Dream character booster set, but not like any other band. To get the main bulk of the cards, and those are these cards, you need to get the secret pack in this set. All these cards can only be found in one secret pack. So if you want to play the clan or that specific band, you need to get your hands on 4 secret packs. I don't know why they decided to do that. I think this is the first time in the history of Vanguard that they introduce new cards that can only be attained in a special high rarity set. They have special high rarity cards, but that are either older reprints or different artworks, but not just new cards that haven't ever been printed before. So I'm not so sure if this is a good move. It certainly will probably give them a lot of money, but I'm not a fan of this. And also the fact that they made new original artwork. These aren't just screenshots like we've seen with all the other bands. Makes it even more annoying, because these are actually looking pretty damn good. So yeah, that's basically the interaction with Rise of Sullen. We have no clue what the skills are going to be. We have no skill reveals. It's only artwork and the fact that the Rise of Sullen band will be introduced. Also, there are going to be more cards. We have the triggers and the starter, but those cards aren't in the secret pack. They can be found in the normal set, which makes sense, because if we looked at the information of the set with the amount of cards in the commons and rares, there were way too many cards to fill in the slots for all the other bands that were confirmed. And so this basically fills in those gaps that were left. One of the order cards, the grade 2 order card, Unstoppable, will be announced, or the skill will be revealed later this week. So we have something to talk about the moment that we see all the skills for Rise of Sullen. And speaking about card reveals with Bang Dream set, this Friday we're going to see another live stream by Nuck where he's going to reveal the skills for the Afterglow band for the Bang Dream set. So this Friday, another Cardfight update where we're going to discuss a brand new archetype within the Bang Dream set. And with that, we basically conclude every information that we got with this live stream. We got a lot of interesting things, not a lot of cards with different skills revealed, just 2 Dimension Police cards, but a lot of information concerning upcoming reveals with the whole new Shadow Paladin support wave, as well as the Bang Dream set with the new information that we're gonna get Rise of Sullen in that set, which is pretty exciting, but why did they have to make it as a secret pack? But with that said, I'm now curious what you guys think of all the information that we discussed today. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are about the new Dimension Police cards, as well as the announcement of Gaia, Luard, Vanguard Overlord, Rising Nova, and Darkface Ghidorah making their return in Standard, and of course the information regarding the Bang Dream set. Leave everything in the comments down below. As always, this video has been brought to you by lovely patrons over at patreon.com/Vanguard Insider. You guys are amazing. If you do want to support the channel or everything that's happening on the channel, you can simply do that by subscribing and hitting the bell button to be updated for future videos, as well as liking the video so I know you are digging the vids. But if you want to help us a bit more directly, you can simply do that by going to patreon.com/Vanguard Insider and become a Patreon today. But with that said, I'm Mr. Time Leap, and I see you guys in the next one.